Welcome back to Duel Screens and Dragons. This is now episode 4. Last week, lots of stuff happened, and I'm just going to kick it right over to Erengard, and we're going to pick up right where we left off with a short recap of what happened, and we're going to move right on. All right, Erengard, take it away. Let's do this.
So after resting in the cabin overnight, the party adventured into the woods, and they found themselves coming off of the main road and going on a side path that leads through the forests. And they found themselves surrounded by lush green at first, but over time, after a couple of hours of walking, the forest began to almost decay around them, and this unsettling mist and fog came down around their vision, and eventually they found themselves walking along this path, trying to find their way through the forest, keeping an eye on the tracks that they were following, when they were set upon by several skeletons and specters who harried them significantly. And now several of the party have this blue, almost glow inside of their veins as their life has been drained away. Others are wounded with swords and rusty weapons that damaged them. And we are picking up right after that combat, as the party is deciding whether to move on, find a place to make camp, or what they're going to do. And we'll start off with everybody give me a perception roll.
Perception!
Nothing bad ever happens from a perception roll.
Damn.
Oddball sees all.
So, Oddball and Alakai, you don't see anything, but you hear something, a voice calling out, sounding from seemingly everywhere at once and yet nowhere. And it says, "North. Go north."
Did you all hear that?
Hear what?
I
The
heard
voice.
a voice say north.
Yes. It was almost like it was inside my head. It was everywhere.
I don't know if we should trust it. But then again, what do we have to lose?
I think regardless of what we do end up doing, we can't continue to sit here. We don't know how long those creatures will continue to flee.
Oddball looks over at Danian. How are you feeling, Bard?
Seen better days for sure. I wouldn't mind a short rest. The path that we're on right now, which direction is that going?
So this way is like northeast, so if you were to follow the directions of the voice, you'd be going off the path. You'd potentially lose the trail that you're on for the moment, but you don't know how long you have to travel in the direction that it's asking you to go.
Ooh, rolling the dice on this one. No pun intended.
I think we trust it.
All right, let's move, and quickly.
All right.
You're not going to have any arguments here.
I begin marching forward, taking lead.
Okay.
Into, like, just going straight north. Or about as straight north as I can muster.
Give me a survival check. And in fact, everybody can give me one to determine whether or not Oddball is going in the right direction.
Based on that? Yep, survival.
Yikes.
Oh,
Yikes.
wow.
There we go.
Not made for the wilderness.
Damn.
So, Andy, you're comfortable that they said north. He's going north-ish. Alakai, you're pretty sure he's going in the completely wrong direction. You actually started walking down this way.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and like everybody else is kind of going up there, and you're down here.
I mean, let's be real. You see Oddball going up, Alakai going down. Who's the party really going to follow right now?
I'm so confident that I'm going in the right direction too. I like turn around and yell to everybody. I'm like, "Where are you going?" North is this way.
Alakai. And I just motion him to. I just motion him to follow. Follow Oddball. Come on.
All right. So you guys start heading up to the north. Again, the forest around you is just filled with this mist and this pervasively eerie feeling, made even more eerie as you continue along by this sheer wall of blackness that seems to be somewhere ahead of you and that you are moving towards in that northerly direction.
Okay, hang on. Before we start getting all crazy and out of order real quick.
Let me go ahead and move you over to the new scene before
let's set up our marching order.
I am taking up the rear.
My torch is no longer there.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I can't see my robot eyes. I need to enchant one eye to see the dark.
Erengard, is that magical darkness?
Yes.
Okay.
It is and it's not. So I'll explain it further here in just a moment.
Yay, light.
There you go, Oddball. So it's like all of the dead wood and the dead trees are surrounding you, but as you approach this wall of darkness, you see this peaking of almost lusher green coming from inside of it. And even with your vision, that your enhanced vision that you have, Kai, you can't peer through this foliage. It's like it's completely closed off the outside world.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay right next to Oddball so that I can hopefully kind of guide him in the right direction if there's any parts that I can kind of start seeing through as we get closer.
I'm sorry, I just love how the guy who rolled a 1 is like, I will guide you.
Alakai is guiding you, and as he's guiding you, he's like, I still think we're going the wrong way. I don't like this darkness.
I am not I am not responding at all to him talking to me. I'm just like laser focused on where I believe north to be, and I'm just marching.
As I'm walking next to him, I'm going to cast guidance.
On Oddball?
On Oddball, yeah.
Okay.
So, as long as you're willing, you get an extra D4 to add to any ability check.
For 1 minute or for
1 minute.
Until you... Oh. Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna...
Are the rest of you content with your marching order at the moment? Would you like to shift yourselves around at all?
I'd like to shift a little and also use Divine Sense. Party's all right.
I would like the bard to be behind me if possible. Bards seem very squishy. Very soft right now. He is not here, therefore I will choose for him.
All right, you're using Divine Sense. Can you roll me a charisma save? Go ahead with your question.
I would like to attempt to make a potion.
Okay.
I would like to try and make a potion of magic restoration. I don't
like a lesser restoration potion.
The one I found is just a 1 die 4 plus 1.
Restoration.
So I don't know which one that would be, but
so roll me a knowledge nature.
Nature. Okay.
You know the materials that you need, but you're not sure if you're going to be able to find them.
Okay.
Especially given the state of the forest that you're in. And you do not. So you're looking around trying to find the reagents you need as you're following along with the group, but you just don't have the materials to make a potion like that. That's a very powerful potion as well. So.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of table talk for a second. So, Sergor.
Yeah.
Me and you are like tanky characters.
Mm-hmm.
So in this scenario, like we'd want one of us in the front, one of us kind of in the back, just for like kind of keeping the softer people in the middle. Typically speaking, just so that way if something comes up like that last scenario, like we're not all sitting in the back and then they're taking all the damage up front. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yep. I agree.
So like we don't have to do it right now, but like it's just one of those things like whenever we're doing the marching orders in the future, like having me and you right next to each other, like up front, makes the backside of us exposed, because then we either have the rogue, the bard, or even the monk, even though the monk can do some crazy dodge stuff, like. And then of course I like Purger being a cleric, like he should be okay.
I'm a warlock, not a cleric.
Why did I think cleric? I don't know.
Because he did clerical things in the morning when he woke up.
That's why it threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, you said warlock, but then you're doing cleric shit. Like, what the hell? Yeah. And then you did some other thing where you like screamed at the sky.
Being a cleric.
That sounds like you're not a cleric. You need to know. All right, Oddball was confused. So
listen.
All right.
In my backstory, my entire family are like teachers at the School of Clerics in Neverwinter. So I'm on a cleric mission right now, but I'm bad at school and wanted to take the easy route. So I made a deal with something.
Jesus Christ.
A deal with a thing, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
So in other words, yeah, we have we got three squishies and
three
and a monk.
Squishier. I wouldn't really call the rogue squishy. I wouldn't call the warlock squishy for that matter. The bard is probably the squishiest member of your party.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like AC wise.
That all being said, Sergor, so you use your divine senses to reach out around you. It is overwhelming the amount of evil that you feel surrounding you. This forest in and of itself, it smells like sulfur and death and decay. It feels almost burdening to try and use that sense in order to determine what exactly is evil or is not. You do get this feeling of that evil collecting on the edge of this lush greenery, but you can't pierce through it with your divine senses. You do, however, prevent yourself from becoming overwhelmed by it.
Well, not getting told by anyone to not walk towards the darkness. Oddball is going to continue to walk towards the darkness.
We'll have to take it.
Anyone else doing anything before you guys continue moving forward?
Rolling stealth.
Hey. I am just like glued to Oddball's hip.
Once again, I have the bard. The bard is, in theory, on the other side, glued to my other side of hip.
I mean, you can put him on the same hip if you want to.
Well, yeah, but
me and Thinian are tight.
That's
We're best friends.
That's okay. As I say, you fixed it. Anyway,
so as you approach this lush green, you all hear this voice in your head. It says, "Over here." And you see this light emit from this wall of darkness.
I changed my mind. I don't trust it anymore. I think we should leave.
Can I do insight check on it?
Go for it.
And then can I use? Has it been a minute? Can I use the guidance thing? Or wait, hang on. Is that for ability checks?
That's for ability checks.
Ability checks.
I mean, it's.
You can roll a wisdom check and use it instead of rolling perception.
Is perception not an ability check?
Well, it's not a. Well, it's not. It's insight.
Oh, it's a skill check.
Yeah, I mean it's the same. It's the same fucking roll. So yeah, I mean if I can, we'll allow that. And then ability check.
And just in the
and
when
then
you're making
slash.
the roll. Yeah, here. So I'm gonna remove that. Have you roll it again, and then it says in the roll if you need to add other formulas. Or
right. That's what that. Yep. Would help if I read things.
Enough, we're very aware that there is evil in this forest, and a voice just rang through our heads showing us the way here. That's what that light is that you see.
I mean, no one told me that. I'm literally saying that. No one told.
Oddball still default murder, so.
No, it's not even. I'm default murder.
Yeah.
Like no one told Oddball that there was evil here. He's just.
Yeah,
going.
you didn't say anything when
you were like getting overwhelmed by that, but like no one said anything. So like Oddball just kept walking.
Okay, so your insight is. I mean, you have no reason not to trust this voice that has created light in the midst of all of this darkness, but at the same time, don't necessarily have a reason to trust it either.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep walking towards it.
Okay.
And I step in through the light.
All right. So, is everybody following, or is it just going to be those two?
Oh yeah, I'm following.
I'm taking up the rear.
Yep.
So you step through the foliage as it kind of parts ways for you, and you step into what can only be described as one of the most beautiful groves that you've ever been in. A large tree stands in the middle of it, far bigger than any of the others that you've seen inside of the forest. The greenery around here is lush and beautiful, as you would imagine the greenery of the forest to be were it not blighted in such a way. You see nothing of note inside of the grove, but you feel much more at peace here than you have anywhere else inside of the forest. And the light that is coming from here you find to be simply daylight. There is a clear view of the sky here, and you can see the light coming down on this tree almost as though it's calling to it.
So, can we see out of the darkness right now?
You cannot. It is, for all intents and purposes, this whole surrounding ring of foliage here is closed off to the rest of the forest, almost as though it's protecting this place.
Okay, so like the darkness goes almost like straight, like a pillar, if you will. Yeah. Okay, all right, that stops my next course of action of trying to climb the tree. All right. I was like, all right, I'm gonna climb that fucking tree and then like see if I can peer out and see what the hell's going on. But then a 400-pound metal robot climbing a tree doesn't exactly sound like the most sound thing to do. But then again, I've taken 0 damage so far, so why not run it? But anyway.
Sir Eander, are you staying out or are you coming in?
I'm behind everyone, so as soon as they all go in, I will follow.
I'm in. I'm just
coming in.
I go and inspect the big tree in the middle? Or is that
after Eander steps in, the foliage closes behind him, once again blocking out the darkness. And you see a figure step out from inside of the tree, almost as though branches of the tree are pulling away and wrapping around the figure's body.
Fucking Swamp Thing.
Oddball readies his glaive, or their glaive.
So I did a quick little nature check. I want to see if I recognize or know any of these plants, as anything of note.
So you see a lot of plants around here that don't belong in this climate. There are plants here that look like they should be from like a much more like rainforest type of area, that kind of a climate, a jungle climate, or something much different than what you're normally faced with in this kind of a realm. The figure that steps out, you also can kind of understand is likely a dryad, the spirit of this very tree. And she kind of steps out of the tree. It is a feminine figure, but it is effectively a tree person. She's got long kind of vine tendrils that go down her back. And she looks over you and specifically looks at Oddball first as he kind of readies his weapon and kind of takes that defensive stance. And she just kind of cocks her head a little and she lifts a hand out to him. Not threateningly, just kind of raises a hand like almost a hello.
Oddball returns the sign and sheaths the glaive.
You are not dead, but you are not alive. What does that make you?
That makes me Oddball.
Oddball. I like that name. She looks over to the others and kind of does a slow scan of the group, and her eyes come to rest on Rogue. And she cocks her head a little bit and she goes, "You are more closely linked to what's happening than I would have thought, but you don't carry the same stench about you. And you," she looks over then to Alakai, "you carry a different stench. I don't like it, but I'll permit it for the time being."
I am so sorry. I haven't showered in weeks. We've been out here killing monsters, and I smell horrible. I understand.
I don't believe that's what they meant.
But whatever could she mean then?
She turns her attention back over to Raug and steps up to him and kind of looks him up and down, and then steps around him and like kind of like just like eyeing him as she's stepping around him. Do you turn to face her, or do you let her just kind of move around you with your like head watching her?
I'm head watching. I'm like keeping her, letting her do her thing.
So she reaches out to your pack and she taps your pack, and then she taps it again. Takes 3 long sniffs. She goes, "It's there. What is that?"
I reach into the bag and I pull out the only thing that makes sense to me, which is a white queen chess piece, expertly carved out of a wood that I don't recognize, and just kind of hold it in my hand out.
Ugh. Put it away. It is disgusting. It is foul. Ugh.
It's imbued with a dark, dark magic. The soul of my sister is bound to this piece, and I'm looking for the demon or devil that put her there.
I cannot help you with finding demons and devils. Not ones that are outside of this forest, at least. She kind of looks over at Alakai and then turns her head back towards Raug and says, "But whatever it is smells like that. She kind of gestures towards him, indicating she wants him to put it away again.
Quickly, just kind of slide it back into whatever pouch it was in. Step over to Alakai. Alakai is a useful and special person. He's made a pact with, well, unsavory things, and in return has limitless power. But Alakai puts this power to good use, and has helped me ensnare quite a few devils and demons, which has led us here in this forest. We've taken out a few specters and the undead on our way, and we hope to find whatever's causing this manifestation of pure evil. Perhaps you can show us, point us in the right direction, give us refuge so we can heal up and ready ourselves. Any tools or anything that could benefit us on our journey. And perhaps we can restore this forest to its former glory, which I assume is as beautiful as this sanctuary you've created.
The rest
I
of the
step
forest.
in. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I step
Go ahead.
in and I ask, what has caused the destruction of the forest? Also, we're looking for someone. That might be beside the point, but can you tell us what's happened here?
I don't know exactly. I know that I felt the evil growing. I know that it tried to find its way into my tree. My beautiful, beautiful tree. She kind of walks over to it and puts her hand on it, kind of pets it lovingly. And then I turned it away. And now it just corners me here. I can't touch any of the other trees or walk around my forest. I don't like it. I want it to go away.
To be quite frank, we would like for it to go away too. Well,
I'm getting, like, increasingly more uncomfortable with everything that's going on, so I'm, like, right up on the edge, almost trying to, like, push my way out a little bit.
So Raug hasn't quite put two and two together that a direct link between Alakai and what's happening right now, but he kind of has a feeling that he's got to kind of piece this puzzle together. I walk up to the what I assume is a massive trunk of the tree, and I remove my hood, get down on my knees, close my eyes, and press my hand kind of on the trunk of the tree, and not necessarily meditate, but I kind of focus on taking in the energies around me and kind of just almost like the elven appreciation of nature and natural order and all of this stuff kind of attracts me to that direction, and almost in a show of good faith, I'm trying to bond in some way with this spirit that I don't quite understand but want to.
So you feel warmth inside of the tree, almost like a thrumming, like a heartbeat of sorts. And you get this, it's weak. It's not strong like you would expect it to be from such a vibrant area. You get the impression that using a lot of its ability or its power, if it has that, to keep this darkness that's around it at bay.
Okay.
And in fact, it kind of makes sense to you as you think about it. You know, as you moved through that foliage line, you could see the kind of the tinges of the decay and the death that were touching its edges. And it looks like it's much slower to creep forward here than it has been, but it does look like it has been creeping forward, slowly but surely.
I turn quickly, or I open my eyes, take my hand off the tree, turn to the party, or to the group. We have to find the source of this evil, and we have to get rid of it now. I look now to the tree lady. My friends are hurt. Do you have any means of helping us so that we can be at full strength, or perhaps any sort of advantage so that we can help you?
You can rest here, but no fire.
That's fair.
I immediately snub out the torch.
No fire, he just goes, shh.
Yep, just metal hand, boom, and then put away.
I turn around and I prop myself up with my back up against the tree and kind of lay my pack down and everything, and I just sort of trance and or attempt to go into a trance, I should say.
So she didn't give a name, right? It was just okay. Do you see everything in the forest?
When the darkness isn't here, yes. Now it's blurry or difficult to see. Living things are not hard to find, like you.
Have you seen a young woman and an older man, by chance?
The young woman, I saw one. It was 5 suns ago. But there were others with her.
How many?
2. Which lines up to what you were tracking before.
Can you still feel them now?
No. They are at the source. The darkest place.
Where is the source?
Did she already? I was gonna say, did she already tell us where the source was? I didn't.
No.
Okay. Where is the source? I assume everybody else is resting, and that's why I'm talking.
Southeast.
I don't need rest. Southeast. Okay.
I slowly start approaching the tree, and as I do, I don't know if anyone sees this or not, but a black tentacle looking thing comes from where we entered and just kind of pulls me back and continues sucking me away from the center of this grove. And so I kind of just give in and try and play it off like I wasn't trying to get closer.
Anybody who wants to see it, roll me a perception.
Absolutely. The hell is that thing?
I technically have my back to him. I'm looking at her, so...
I'm semi-conscious. I will take a perception at disadvantage. Oh, Jesus.
Hey!
At disadvantage, really?
That happens sometimes, man.
True.
So, Ian Deere does not see it. Ian Deere currently has his face in a couple of flowers. He's sniffing them.
I've been wandering around.
He's just chilling. He's vibing right now. He's like, dude, this is nice.
You got some weed in here?
I need to find a spot to sleep off these fucking these blue veins right now. Like, is there a way to sleep?
When I'm not punching, I love flowers.
You do see it though. Kind of this black tendril kind of snake through the magical defense of this place, and
Kind of do a double take, and I go, "What was that? Did anybody see that?
What was what?
Are you serious?
Not again.
That thing, it came out and grabbed you, it looked like."
And my eyes go pitch black, and
It was nothing.
then kind of
Oddball
like shake
hears
back to
that and
consciousness.
turns around.
I go, all right. No need to get agitated. I was just concerned. For me.
the Dryad doesn't seem to be reacting to this.
This is a been there, done that thing for Raug.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Just you're just like, yeah, it's a demon thing. It's fine. It's his inner demon. It's not a big deal.
Does this sometimes?
All right, so we're taking a short rest, correct?
So you find this place to be extremely comfortable. The grass is extremely lush. It's like the softest bed that you've ever laid on. So if you want to take a long rest, you're certainly welcome to. She doesn't seem to mind. And she's open for conversation if anybody wants to talk to her.
I will certainly take that rest.
Yeah, I would love a long rest.
Really, I'm just doing that to get all my stuff back, honestly. Like,
Yes.
I am not going to be able to take a long rest. Well, actually, I'll ask you, Erengard. Do I get a sense of, like, kind of a higher power? Does this feel like a divine area?
Not divine per se, but it definitely has a magic, an ancient magic that you're not entirely comfortable with. You feel like you could rest, but it would be an uncomfortable rest.
Okay. So maybe a short rest for me?
You could take a long rest like everybody else. It's just imagine it as being like you're very stir crazy. So long rest, keep in mind that long rest doesn't necessarily mean that you lay down and sleep, right? It's
Sure.
just
I'm just thinking because of the environment that I'm in and what that would cause my character to feel as far as like being super uncomfortable and stuff, that it would be more restless than restful. And so I wouldn't be able to take full advantage of a long rest.
Sure.
Is kind of how I picture it. I'm, kind of on edge the whole time.
I'm able to reset my health now. Does the draining effect go away? Okay.
Yep. As soon as you finish the long rest.
I'd like to look around for components to make some healing potions.
Give me a knowledge nature.
do I see him grabbing the things, or is he just looking?
He's just looking at the moment. You get the impression that there's probably some significant medicinal value to some of these plants, but you have no idea what most of them are. Like, they're just completely foreign to you.
I turn to Lady Tree Lady. Do you have any herbs or flowers that I can use for restoration purposes? I'm unfamiliar with a lot of the botany here, but I feel like it could be helpful in our journey.
She kind of cocks her head at you curiously, and she goes, "Restoration. Are you not resting?"
We won't be resting once we're out trying to vanquish whatever's doing this to your forest. So, I have... This may seem unfamiliar to you. I perform alchemy. It's using nature to create concoctions of a sort to give us vitality, strength, speed, endurance, things like that.
She kind of thinks on what you're saying a bit. And it takes her a few moments kind of to see her like looking around the grove. And then she takes a few steps away from you. She walks over to one of the plants, looks down at it, and she plucks a single petal from one of the flowers. And she walks back over to you and hands you this petal.
Can I do a nature on this? Or actually, no, I'm just going to ask her. I'm unfamiliar with this flower. What is its name?
Phalanthus. It says you can use it. You get a very quick impression that Phalanthus is actually the name of the plant, not the biological, not the botany name, but the actual name of the plant itself.
Right. Thank you. I'm gonna flip through whatever. Is there like some sort of like botany guide or something?
Yeah, it's got like your alchemy supplies have a basic kit there, so
okay.
It's probably got like a little the Explorer's Guide to Plants and Animals, All
right, so I'm gonna flip through that and see if I can recognize what you just gave me.
So you don't find anything that looks exactly like it, but based on kind of like doing a couple of little tests with your alchemy kit, actually roll me a check with your alchemy kit, which I believe is going to be intelligence.
Yeah.
But I think you can actually roll the kit itself.
I can. Is there a situational bonus or anything like that?
No situational bonus.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
So a couple of quick tests later, and you define that this very easily could be used to create a probably some sort of healing elixir. And based on the potency with which this petal reacts, you imagine that it would be of significant quality.
All right, I'm going to make a potion.
All right. To your sheet.
Andrew, I have a question about effects.
There it is.
In the effects tab, I have an inactive effect. Does that mean that it was once active or just a holding spot?
Oh, you're talking about the bless effect?
Yes.
Yeah, so in the event that you use bless, you can hit the little check mark to the right. So it's a spell that you have.
Got it.
And you can hit that check mark and it'll put the effect on you.
If I were to... Okay, got it.
Okay. Southeast. That seems like as good a direction as any. I walk up to Alakai really quick. I'm trying to get them distracted as I go up to Alakai to kind of speak to him privately, if I can. Either explain.
Get who distracted?
I'm like the party. I don't want them to really know exactly what I'm saying. They're gonna know that I'm going up to him to speak to him, but I'm gonna like try and keep this on the down low, out of respect to Alakai, not necessarily to keep a secret. Alakai, either tell them what's going on. Either tell them what's going on, or they're gonna find out, and this could be a big problem for us.
I can't trust them. If word gets out about this, it will ruin my entire family. I cannot risk that.
How would your family feel if you turned up dead because your entire group doesn't trust you? Remember, you trusted me.
You know that wasn't a choice.
There's going to be a time where you're going to have to tell. Because it's going to mean life or death.
Am I able to...
comes,
Oh, sorry. Good.
when that time comes,
Hear this.
I will make that decision.
Okay.
Am I close enough that I'm able to make out any of this whispering or whatever they're doing here, or am I too far to hear it?
You can roll a perception if you want.
What languages do we know?
I know a bunch, bro.
I don't have any of my languages written down. Where are they?
It's under your attributes.
It's alright anyway.
The lower right corner, you'll see languages.
I love how it
do you speak
almost looks
Abyssal?
like Surgor is just like
I don't.
all up in your guys' shit. I just love how that's
Yeah.
how it looks. It's like Surgor is just like
We were speaking Infernal.
I don't speak Infernal. I
I
speak
thought you said
Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, and Elvish.
I was speaking Elvish. That's literally the only one we have in common.
Perfect.
All right. Anything else anybody would like to do? Any other conversations with the Dryad? Or?
The other elf is over here, so I think I'm safe.
If I wanted to like look back into some lore that could be in my memory, could I use a history check about dryads?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know that dryads are kind of willful sprites. They're creatures of the wood. Usually they're attached to a particular tree, which obviously this one is attached to the one that you're currently bedding under. They are neutral. They don't usually take a position one way or another when it comes to conflicts, as long as those conflicts don't impact them. They can be extremely dangerous. There are tales of dryads turning evil and doing some pretty terrible things. You know that it's not entirely common for them to be alone. Usually there are druids with them, or there are other dryads with them, or other tree fae or natural fae that are around them. But you're not seeing any signs of that with this one.
Eek.
Did we ever get this Dryad's name?
Nope.
never gave it.
Nope. Asked.
Oh, I assumed that she didn't have one. I apologize.
All right.
Really quickly, while we're here, kind of similar to what Steve was doing, I have a poisoner's kit on me, and I would like to see if there's anything in the vicinity that I could use with my poisoner's kit to make a couple of vials of poison.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a knowledge nature. Once again, a lot of strange plants. You imagine that some of them could be medicinal, some of them could be deadly, but you have no real understanding of the plants themselves to be able to pluck a particular plant and use it for a poison.
Okay. All right.
I walk up to Tree Lady.
I think Surgur was about to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that's true. Go ahead, Surgur.
Thank you. Honored host, we thank you for your hospitality, and we will restore your honor, this tree's honor, and the honor of the wood as soon as we can.
She kind of just bows her head a little to you. Very oddly courtly.
Surgur bows and places his fist on his chest in reverence and begins to walk away.
As I'm passing Sergor, I give him kind of a tap on the shoulder, like, just, whatever, like kind salutations. Go up one more time. I give one more look at the tree, like big, massive tree. Put my hand on its bark one more time, and I just look over at this tree lady, and I say, "Does it have a name?"
Her name is Dulalis.
Dulalis. Well, Dulalis, you'll see your friends again soon. And I back away and walk back towards with what I believe to be the southeast.
I just kind of wave to her as we leave. So long.
So she parts the same area once more to allow you all to exit. Halakai is like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Get me out of here.
I not sprint, but I get out very quickly as soon as it opens up.
That's red.
Yes, I just wave. Goodbye.
Waves.
Dulalis. I just overheard it, so I assumed that was her name too.
Fair. And as you all pass through the passageway, closes
Okay.
and you find yourselves once more in the eerie dark of the forest.
75 skeletons waiting outside for you.
Okay, what now?
Glaive.
Southeast. Oddball, you have your torch ready? Ian, do you want to lead the way, since you are so good with direction?
Got him.
Way to be a dick.
Wow. He's just mad he forgot how to survive.
I'd rather
go
not
ahead.
lead, but I can tell you which way to go.
Alright, so what was it, nature or I forget, what did we roll last time for
Survival.
this?
It's survival.
It was survival,
That's what it
but
was.
Iandir is pointing the direction out. He seems pretty confident.
Alright,
Alright, I'm gonna follow him.
let's do it.
All right. And that is where we will take a quick break since we didn't get one before.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Thank you for watching this episode of Dual Screens and Dragons. This has been episode 4. Again, stay tuned here 2 weeks from now for episode 5. Thank you very much, and keep diving those dungeons or something.